Today, I am talking to you if you are a female entrepreneur who is dealing with a whole ton of shit at the moment. So maybe everything has gone wrong that could possibly go wrong this week. Maybe you have had some horrible news that is making you feel absolutely wretched. Or maybe you're just having some sort of existential crisis and questioning your every existence. Um, and in this conversation, I'm going to give you an action plan of what you can do to move forward, what you can do to move forward when everything feels like it's just gone to shit and you can't see the right next step for you. So save this conversation, come back to it, and then you will have your very own action plan when the next insurmountable challenge pops up in your business. So after this conversation, you are going to feel resilient. You are going to feel absolutely in control of what is going on in your business at the moment. And you are going to feel unstoppable so that whatever pops up, it doesn't need to stop you. So enjoy the conversation and don't forget to let me know what you think. If you're watching this live, please say hello in the comments. And if you're catching up a little bit later, please say hello with hashtag replay. My name is Claire Ackers. I am an authenticity coach and I empower female founders to build aligned and authentic businesses that are capable of changing the world. I've got over 15 years of coaching experience and I'm the creator of the Audacity method, which essentially helps women to rip up the rule book, to stop waiting for permission, to ditch the imposter syndrome and to create their dream life with their business. So, what to do when everything feels like it has gone to shit? Well, I got a call from a client yesterday and I'm sharing this story with her permission. Basically, a massive contract had fallen through. Her entire pipeline of business had just disappeared, poof. Essentially because the terms that she had agreed with the clients, they'd completely disrespected them, screwed her over, gone behind her back, and business that she thought she could count on coming through disappeared. She had met with a family friend who'd known her since she was tiny, and they had completely poo-pooed and dismissed her business. So she felt about this big, really, really shattered her dreams and made her feel silly for following her passion. And then finally, a close family member who should absolutely have had her back. Um, and who was worried on her behalf, said something like, should we have taken out the lease on that brand new car? I'm not sure that we can afford it. And it just was like a dagger in her heart of, oh my gosh, what is happening here? And she called me in a panic, feeling absolutely awful. Just absolutely awful. Her body was reacting and she was totally in fight or flight mode. Chest was contracting. She could feel the panic rising through her body. And it was just oh my gosh, like everything I've touched has just turned to shit. What do I do here? How do I, her spirit wasn't gone. Her fighting spirit was absolutely there. But she was just like, what do I do here? I cannot see the right next step forward. So this is what I told her to do, and I'm sharing it with you so that when the shit hits your fan, as it inevitably does when we're bold and brave and audacious enough to go out there and set up a business, that when that shit hits the fan, you can save this and you can have a plan of how you can turn things around really, really quickly. So number one is feel all the feelings. Don't ignore them. Don't ignore what is happening in your body. That your body is giving you a reaction for a reason. Don't try and do what so many of us do, which is to squish those feelings down and pretend they're not there and just carry on regardless, because they're always there. They're just in your subconscious. what I would advise that you do instead is notice where that feeling is in your body. Is it a lump in your throat? Is it sweaty palms? Is it feeling in your gut? Is your skin crawling? Where is that feeling in your body? And then I want you to take some time and just sit with that feeling. Acknowledge it. Sit with that feeling, even if it is uncomfortable, and just allow it to be. So take some time and be kind to yourself and acknowledge that it's a bit shit. Absolutely take some time to acknowledge that it is a little bit shit what's happened to you. And then you're not going to wallow. Once you've taken that time, you've got to do something with those feelings. So what you need to do is process those feelings, ground them, allow them to move through your body so they're not sitting there making you feel awful. So the best things that you can do to allow those feelings to move through your body: go for a run, do some yoga, dance like a loon to 90s boy bands, meditate, go swimming, something physical to literally shake those feelings out of your body. You've got to let them out. And then number 2 is to think, what am I making this mean? What am I making this mean? What narrative am I attaching to this situation? What story am I telling myself about what this situation means? So, for example, in the example of my client, the massive contract has fallen through. Well, she was making that mean that there's no money, we're not safe. Oh my gosh, we've got no security. You know, there's no buffer in the bank there. And then the next one, that pipeline of new business falling through, she was making that mean that I've been lied to. I can't rely on anybody. My clients don't respect me. Pretty scary feelings. And then the one about meeting the family friend and them laughing at her about her business idea. She was making it mean that people are laughing at me. They don't respect me. My business is stupid. And then the biggie that we've been working on for a while, I'm not a good girl. Good girls do what they're told. They don't do disruptive stuff. They don't do crazy stuff. You know, they do what they're told. They sit in the corner and they do what is expected of them. And then finally, the one about taking out the car lease was all about my family is ruined. I'm crap with money. I've got no business running a business, all that stuff. So she was sitting with some really, really big feelings. And then in addition to this, be really aware of what conclusion you're coming to with all these separate incidences. Are you lumping them all together to make one big, massive, overwhelming meaning? They can just be separate things that add up to a shitty whole. You know, it doesn't need to be this overarching, massive meaning. You can take each situation individually. Okay, so then number 3 is it true? Is this massive narrative, this story, this meaning, is this true? And what you will find is that there will be a teeny tiny kernel of truth, a fact right at the heart of this story, this narrative. And then everything else is layers and layers of narrative and meaning, just like an onion, that you have placed on top of this because of the way that you're wired and because of your programming. So just to recap, step 1 is to feel the feelings. Step 2 is to think, what am I making this mean? And then step 3 is thinking, is it true? Okay, so then let's move on to step number 4, which is to ask yourself, okay, is feeling like this going to get me where I want to go? What is my vision for my business? What do I want for myself? What do I dream of for myself? Is accepting this conclusion, this meaning that I'm giving to this situation, is it going to help me get towards that vision? And of course it's not. Of course it's not. But you've got to call yourself out. Is believing this going to get me towards that vision? So then number 5 is, okay, so what else could I choose to believe? What other meaning could I attach to this situation? And then you choose a new empowering conclusion. So, for example, it might be, I can deal with tough things, or business is tough, but I am tougher. I can deal with anything that life or business or clients or anything chooses to throw at me because I've got this. It could just be, I've got this. It could be that these situations are just clearing the way for my greatness. I love that one. In fact, that's the advice I gave to my client. All these situations are just clearing the way for my greatness or for greater things. So then number 6 is about rising up and choosing a new course of action, one that's going to be empowering. And how do you do that, you might ask? Well, you've got to trust your intuition. You've got to trust your intuition, your gut, that whisper inside you that is telling you, even if it might be inconvenient, what the right next step is. And I want to share with you a wisdom accessing exercise that I do with all my clients, which again, you might want to save and come back to if ever you need to know what the right course of action is. I'm going to go through with it now. So what I want you to do is get really, really comfy in your seat, get your feet flat on the floor, get comfy in your chair, have a bit of a wiggle, stretch your neck, and then close your eyes. Go on, close your eyes. I'm not watching. Close your eyes, and I want you to take 3 deep, lovely breaths in and out. And then I want you to draw your attention to everything that is going on in your mind at the moment. Everything that you've done today, everything that you've got to do after you've finished listening to this conversation, everything that you should have done today but you haven't quite got around to yet. And I want you to thank it, and I want you to press pause. It'll still be there when we're done. Just press pause for a second. And then I'd like you to imagine your attention going down the back of your neck, like coming down the lift and arriving into your heart space. And just put your hands one on top of the other, just on top of your heart space, and see if you can tune in to the rhythm of your heart. And then take a couple of deep breaths, tuning in to the rhythm of your heart space. And then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and I just want you to answer them from that heart space. Whatever comes up, no judgment, no censoring, nothing like that, whatever comes up for you. So I want you to imagine that we fast forwarded 6 months, and you are looking back over this period in your life, and you are reflecting on it, and you're so happy. You're so relieved, and you're so satisfied, and you're so successful. And you're really, really proud of how you showed up in that challenging time. And when you can feel that feeling of success and fulfillment and happiness and joy, I want you to turn it up a little bit more so you can feel that feeling flooding through your body. Your fingers are tingling, your skin's on fire, and you know you are just smashing it. And the person who is doing all that, how are they standing? What are they wearing? How are they behaving? How do they comport themselves? What do they believe? What are people saying about them? What impact are they having on the world with their business? How are they feeling now that they know that the dream was so justified, and they're so pleased and proud and happy that they put themselves out there and smashed it? What's their heart telling them? And what advice have they got for the you of today? And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, grab a pen, and just write down whatever came up for you. Now that's a little exercise that you can come back to time and time again, just to shut off the noise in your head and tune in to tune into his inner wisdom, into the wisdom of your heart and your gut and your instinct, and choose the right course of action based on your knowing what you know to be true. Okay. And then finally, we have step number 7, which is the advice that I concluded with my client yesterday when I was giving her some on the spot help. And that was basically tits out, head down, crack on. So I have got a tool that I'm going to recommend if you are a female entrepreneur who wants to feel resilient and unstoppable. And it is basically a free scorecard that I have created so you can benchmark how your business is doing on the whole authenticity and alignment and delivering that dreams lifestyle that you are looking for. If you would like to take the quiz, 30 questions, take you 3 minutes, it is free, and you will get a personalized report from me about action steps that you can go away and put into place to improve those areas so you can just feel awesome. If you'd like to do it, there is a link in the notes for this conversation. I'd love you to go and take it. But let me know. Let me know if this conversation resonated with you. Good luck with it all. Let me know what action you've taken. Thank you, and I'll see you very soon.